¿Molestaron por ser colorado?
No me molesta.
Hey, how's it going? As the summer transfer window comes to a close, I wanted to talk about one of the most underrated deals that we didn't get to see this window, but will most likely witness in either the winter or certainly next summer. The most exciting prospect in the Argentine league right now is strangely a left back with fiery red hair from Boca Juniors. His name is Valentin Barco, and he's commonly referred to as El Colo Barco. He's a quick and remarkably technical player for his position. This shouldn't really come as much of a surprise. He said he modeled his game after Marcelo and dreams of playing for Real Madrid one day. But this summer it was Manchester City, Juventus, Chelsea, and Brighton looking for a signature. The Colo wanted to stay to see out Boca's Libertadores campaign, as they've now qualified for the semifinals. This loyalty makes sense. He's Boca through and through. He was born about 3 hours outside of the city of Buenos Aires in a town called 25 de Mayo on the 23rd of July 2004. He began playing locally at Sportivo de 25 de Mayo, and when he was around 8 years old, he joined a club that was an hour closer to Buenos Aires called Club Norberto de la Riestra. It was while playing here that Barco began to stand out, as the club played tournaments in much larger cities across the province of Buenos Aires. When Barco played at Boca's youth training ground at La Candela, the scouts immediately invited him to take part in their trainings. Barco caught the eye of Ramon Madoni, the same scout who spotted the likes of Riquelme, Tevez, Cambiaso, and Fernando Redondo. He was impressed enough to give the young forward a spot in the team at the end of 2013. This was a huge moment for Valentin's family, but meant that his parents had to make the 400-kilometer drive to and from their native 25 de Mayo 4 days a week for training. Yet, they would do anything to ensure that their son would be able to chase his footballing dream, stretching their means to do so. His parents have said that Valentin was very aware of their economic hardships and would offer his post-training snacks to them to make sure that they would eat on the long journey home. Valentin would study in the early mornings and get home late at night, playing through any illness or problem because ensuring his success was his family's priority. After 3 years of this rough commute in the family's tiny Renault 12, his mother decided to give Boca an ultimatum. Valentin should be given a pension to live in what was effectively dorms for the academy kids, despite him not being of age to do so. And Boca valued the youngster so highly that they heeded to his mother's demands, and he moved to San Justo. As he developed at Boca, he was moved around the pitch from forward to midfield, as it was believed he was more dangerous when he began his runs from deep. At every stage of his development, he was heralded for his technical abilities, vision, and above all, his character. With one of the first scouts to notice him, Edgardo Sanchez, saying that he always had a strong character. They would send him off and he'd be brave. He would always win the ball, take free kicks, and handle whatever came his way. After winning a youth championship with Boca in 2018, Colo began representing Argentina at the U15 age level, which got him signed to a deal with Adidas. According to journalist Germán Buero, when Riquelme won the election to become second vice president of Boca right at the end of 2019, there was a huge increase in Boca's use of youth players. Consequently, Barco accelerated his progression up the ranks to the reserve team at Boca, where he was ultimately shifted to left back due to questions around his physicality. Colo would sign his first professional contract while training with Boca's first team during the 2021 preseason at the age of only 16. When the Argentine league resumed, he started the first 2 games of the season, becoming Boca's 4th youngest debutant ever. But as the year went on, he was dropped back down to the reserve side to ensure he got more playing time. This would continue to be the case for the 2022 season, in which Boca went on to lift the league title, with Barco failing to register a single appearance. This lack of playing time saw other clubs try to swoop in for him. Getafe looked to sign him in the winter transfer window, as he has a €10 million release clause in his contract, which was set to run out at the end of this year, making him a free agent. However, in February, Barco signed a new deal that keeps his release clause the same and sees him under contract at Boca until 2025 with the promise of more first-team football. The youngster finally got his break a few months later. About halfway through the season, Boca were languishing in 18th place, when on the 15th of April 2023, El Colo Barco made his return to the starting lineup against Estudiantes. Though Boca lost, there was a lot of promise there. And as the saying goes, the cream always rises to the top. A mere 4 days later, Boca hosted Deportivo Pereira in Copa Libertadores. Barco started the game for an underperforming Boca. The Colombians took the lead in the 76th minute, and judging by Boca's form at the time, they were likely to see out a boring next 15 minutes and leave with all 3 points. Little did they know, they had just awoken a 5'7" ginger giant. Barco was striding forward, creating incredible attacking opportunities, but it would be his opposite fullback, Luis Advíncula, who morphed into like Juninho with this long shot that brought Lucianese's level. At the end of the 10 minutes of added time, Colo found himself alone out wide and whipped in a cross that Alan Varela headed home. Boca won 2-1. This game really put Barco on the map and set him up nicely for the U20 World Cup, where he got another assist in the opening game, a 2-1 comeback win against Uzbekistan. His performances in the rest of the tournament would garner even more attention from Europe as the host exited in the round of 16. I actually got to see Valentin Barco play in person in his first game back from the World Cup against Lanús, and let me tell you, this guy definitely passes the eye test. Boca were laughably bad that game, but he is genuinely sublime on the ball, and he plays with maturity far beyond his years. Also, when they announced the team sheet, he got the loudest cheers by far. A few weeks later, he actually scored his first professional goal against Monagas. Pretty decent weak foot finish for a defender. From his celebration, it's probably obvious how much the Boca fans love him. He's truly a gem and one of their own. Lastly, just to go back to this kid's mentality real quick, a few weeks after his 19th birthday, he had to take the game-deciding penalty against Nacional, trying to send Boca through to the quarterfinals of the Libertadores. Watch the way he takes this penalty. He's got to be one of the coldest gingers out there, not named Kevin De Bruyne. He helped Boca finish out the first part of the season strong, while he himself just moves from strength to strength, and I'm really excited to see what this kid can do in Europe. But let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video. All my sources are in the description below. This was just a quick one to get me back in the swing of things. I'll post the next historical recap after this. I was just waiting for the poll results, and I want to do something in the meantime. But yeah, until then, bye.